हमारा कौन सा पीजे क्लास के अलावा टेक्निकल टेक्निकल मेल से मिल सकता है। Very good morning everyone. How are you all? Everyone fine? Okay, the last class we started Ind AS 16. Any doubt in Ind AS 37, Ind AS 10? If you have done any questions? No doubt? Okay. So let us revise what we have done for Ind AS 16. We have done the definition of property, plant and equipment. So what is the meaning of PP? PP are the tangible item which are expected, which are held, we'll say in this way, which are held for the production of goods or for supply of goods or services or for rental to other or for administrative purposes, and which are expected to be used for more than one period. Now when I am saying admin purpose, you have understood it is a wider term which will use all other business purpose, correct? And second point is what? The property which are investment property are not covered in this chapter. That will be covered under Ind AS 40. Then we have also done one point, that treatment of spare part, standby equipment and servicing equipment. If it meet the definition of PP, then apply Ind AS 16. Otherwise, apply Ind AS 2, means it will be considered as inventory. And when such inventories are consumed, it will be charged to PLS and expense. Then we have done the recognition criteria. Recognition criteria, when two conditions satisfied, then cost of an item of PP will be recognized as an asset in financial statement. Point number one, it is probable that future economic benefit will flow to the entity and the cost can be measured reliably. Then initial recognition, we have done measurement at initial recognition, which just started. That measurement will be done at cost price, that is nothing but cash price equivalent. What is the meaning of cash price equivalent? When the payment is not deferred beyond normal credit period, then the cost will be equal to the cash and cash equivalent paid or the fair value of consideration given up. But if the payment is deferred beyond normal credit period, then the cost price will be equal to present value of all future payment, or we can say purchase price at normal credit terms. Purchase price here always means invoice price minus trade discount plus non-refundable duties and taxes. Then of course in this case, can I say we need to calculate interest, and interest will be recognized as an expense over the period of credit unless it is covered under Ind AS 23, means it can be also capitalized if it meet all the condition of Ind AS 23. Got this point? This much we have done. Any doubt? No doubt. Now we have understood cost price. Now of course once we have understood cost price, we need to understand what are included and what are not included in the what are included and what are not included in the cost price. That we need to understand. But before that, let me give one clarification to you. What we are doing in this chapter means, suppose this is the date when you either acquired, means either you will acquire PP or you will do self construction. So either this is the date of acquisition, or we can say date of construction, correct? Yes or no? You can start drawing timeline. Okay. Now can I say from this date we'll start initial recognition, if of course it be the definition as well as recognition criteria, correct? So we do initial recognition. Now in initial recognition we need to identify the cost. So of course there are two type of cost, one which will be capitalized and one which will not be capitalized. So all the directly attributable expenses will be capitalized. It means we need to identify which cost will be capitalized, and there may be some costs which are incurred but which are not directly attributable expenses, that will not be capitalized. So that are not included in the cost price. That only we need to identify which one will be capitalized and which will not be capitalized. Correct now? So if not capitalized, so it will be expense. Now when I am saying capitalized, so there are three components which are capitalized: A, B and C. A, B and C. A is known as purchase price. A is known as what? Purchase price. Correct? B is known as any directly attributable expenses. And C will be when there is one special point about decommissioning cost. We call it decommissioning, restoration and similar cost. ठीक है ना? So I am writing in short form DRSL. Just write down DRSL. We call it decommissioning, restoration and similar liability. We'll discuss about this. I'm just writing what we are going to study in this chapter. So this will be capitalized. Understood? Then can I say, once the asset is ready for use, so at some point of time, asset will become ready for its intended use. Once it become ready for use, then we will cease capitalization. At this point of time, we will cease capitalization. Means there will be no further capitalization of initial cost. So basically we call it initial cost. We call it what? Initial cost. Are you getting what I am saying? So capitalization will cease. Yes, sir. Understood this point? Correct. So this becomes the date when the asset is ready for use. Now asset is ready for use, but it is quite possible it is not actually put to use. So after some point of time it may be put to use. Or normally what happens, once the asset is ready, we will start using it. But there are some assets which require some time because the production is not started till now, or some havan is required, puja is required, or there is some good time to start, so we will wait for some time period. Are you able to understand? Or there may be some other reason. Correct. So it is quite possible it is not put to use on the same date. So suppose it is put to use on this date. So there will be some expenses which will be incurred after the there are some expenses which will be incurred after the date when the asset is ready for use and till the asset is put to use. So this will be always charged to PL. Already I have written expense. Expense means what? PL. Expense means PL. Means this will never be capitalized. So this is the date when the asset is ready for use. This is the date when the asset is put to use. Correct. Now from your point of view, we should commence depreciation from which date? From a date when the asset is ready for use, or from a date when the asset is put to use? Put to use, and this is the difference between CA inter and CA final. Correct. This is 100% wrong. 100% wrong. Okay. Means whatever you have done in CA inter, I don't know what you have done. I don't know what you have done. But this type of question they will not ask in CA inter, and therefore you don't know. Even though AS10 is exactly the same, once the asset is ready for use, its useful life will start. Even though you are not using the asset, it will be depreciated. Means your useful life will start from this date. Your useful life will start from this date. Correct now? Useful life. So once its useful life will start, we will commence what? Depreciation. We will commence depreciation from this date. We will commence depreciation from this date now. Depreciation will commence from this date. Have you understood this point? Are you able to understand whatever I am saying? Bolo. Correct? Bolna re. Correct. Now, this is the useful life commence. So once useful life start, depreciation will commence. Now, how to charge depreciation? What are the method of depreciation? That we'll discuss. I mean, depreciation, so you are expert. Okay, chalega. Now, can you say once we start using it, then there may be some subsequent cost, because when you use the asset, then some subsequent cost will be incurred. So here some subsequent cost will be incurred. Subsequent cost will be incurred. Now these subsequent costs are of three types. These subsequent costs are of three types. One is known as day-to-day servicing cost. Day-to-day servicing cost. One is known as replacement cost. Replacement cost. And the third is known as major inspection cost. Major inspection cost. Understood? So these are known as subsequent costs. This cost will be incurred only when you start using it. Correct? Now, of course, now we need to understand whether this will be charged to PL or this can be also capitalized or not. Yes or no? Now, this day-to-day servicing cost will be always charged to PL, expense. This will be always charged to PL. But this replacement cost and major inspection cost, either it may be capitalized, or it may be expensed. Now we need to understand when it will be capitalized, when it will be expensed, that we need to understand. It may be capitalized, it may be expensed, that we need to understand. Okay, sir. Have you understood this point? Correct? Yes, sir. Now, can you say once it become ready for use, till the end of its useful life? Till the end of its useful life. Yes or no? Let's say this is the date when its useful life is over. Let's say, correct? So this is the end of useful life. Because end of useful life is not the end of economic life. Economic life and useful life are two different terms. Now, what is economic life? What is useful life? Now, for any human being, economic life and useful life are different. Correct now. Similarly, for a human being, the total life and the useful life. Can you say any human being become retired at the age of 60? Means can you say he is productive only till the age of 60? Means you become chartered accountant at the age of 23. So you are ready for use. You are ready for use. Others are using you. Others will use you for their benefit. Means you will provide services. So can you say at the age of 23, Correct now, your useful life started, you become ready for use. Correct. And at the age of 60, let us suppose, however, CA will never retire. CA will retire only at a time when the God will call. Are you able to understand? We will work till the last breath of our life. What I want to say, let us suppose 60 is the age of retirement. So that becomes the end of useful life. But still, there is some life left. Are you able to understand? So what I am saying, what is the meaning of economic life? What is the meaning of useful life? Economic life is the life in which that asset will provide economic benefit. Useful life is the life which is expected to be used by that particular entity. Suppose this is the mobile. The economic life is 10 years, but I am having an intention, I will use this only for 6 years. It means my intention is to use it only for 6 years, but after 6 years it also may provide some economic benefit. Correct? It is quite possible my intention to use it is till the end of economic life. Then from my point of view, useful life and economic life will be same. But it is quite possible useful life is less than what? Economic life. The useful life may be equal to or less than economic life. Correct? So economic life is greater than useful life. I hope you are understanding. So this is the end of useful life. End of useful life. So because it is not the end of economic life, it may be held for sale because it can be used by some other party. It may be used by some other party. So once the economic life is over, once the useful life is over, it is quite possible it is held for sale. It is held for sale. Understood? Held for sale. So up to this date, understood? Means from the beginning of useful life till the end of useful life, we will do subsequent recognition. We will do what? Subsequent recognition. Subsequent recognition as per Ind AS 16. Subsequent recognition is done at each reporting date. At each reporting date. At each reporting date. Now, as per Ind AS 16, they have given two models: cost model or revaluation model. Cost model or revaluation model. So we need to understand what is cost model, what is revaluation model. Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? Correct. It means, can I say cost model, revaluation model will not be applied once the asset is held for sale? And once the asset is held for sale, then Ind AS 105 will be applicable. Means from this date, Ind AS 16 is not applicable. What is applicable? Ind AS 105 is applicable. Once the asset is classified as held for sale, then what is applicable? Ind AS 105. Then can you say after some point of time, it will be actually sold? It will be actually sold. So let's say at this point of time, it is actually sold. So on this date, we will do derecognition. We will do derecognition of the asset. So we'll apply derecognition. We'll apply derecognition of the asset. I hope you are understanding. We need to understand how to derecognize. How to derecognize. Derecognition of the asset is done as per Ind AS 16. As per Ind AS 16. It means during this period, can you say from a date when the asset is classified as held for sale till the actual derecognition of the asset, we apply what? Ind AS 105. Ind AS 105. So during this period, we do measurement as per Ind AS 105, not as per Ind AS 16. So that we will study where? In Ind AS 105. Not in this chapter. Not in this chapter. Understood? Means here Ind AS 16 is applicable. Here also Ind AS 16 is applicable, and initially also Ind AS 16 is applicable. Got this point? This is the entire life cycle of a property, plant and equipment. So this we are going to study in this chapter. Have you understood? Have you understood? In one diagram, I put everything. The entire Ind AS 16 is incorporated. Understood? Chalega? Written? Everything written? Now let us start. So we are right now in initial recognition. So when we are in initial recognition, we have understood initial recognition will be done always at cost price. Now we need to find out what is included and what are not included in the cost price. So first we'll do elements of what cost price. Already I said there are three elements of cost price. One is known as purchase price. One is known as what? Purchase price. Second is known as what? Directly attributable cost. Directly attributable cost. And third is what? Third is what? Initial estimated cost of dismantling and removing the item or restoring the site on which it has been located. We call it decommissioning, restoration and similar liability. What is this? We'll of course do the explanation. Now first purchase price. Purchase price is very easy. Already I have said it means invoice price less trade discount or rebate plus any non-refundable duties and taxes. Plus any non-refundable duties and taxes. Now, non-refundable duties and taxes you have understood for which credit is not available. Means of course these are all indirect taxes for which credit is not available. If the credit is not available, then become non-refundable. So that will be added to the cost price of the asset. If question is silent, then always will assume credit is not available. So if the question is silent, assume all duties and taxes are non-refundable. I don't non-refundable. If question is silent, always assume all duties and taxes are non-refundable. Means you will add it. Means you will add it. Okay, sir? Yes, sir? Okay. Now about trade discount and rebate. What do you mean by trade discount? And what is the difference between trade discount and cash discount? Cash discount is because of immediate payment. Means suppose you have done one purchase and on the date of purchase you receive some discount because you have made cash sales. Means because you have made cash payment. Whether it is cash discount or trade discount. You only said na immediate payment. Means on the date of transaction you have done the payment, you receive trade discount or cash discount. No, that is not correct. Any discount given on trade date of whatever nature, any discount given on trade date of whatever nature, that will be trade discount. And any discount which is given on the time at the time of settlement. And case settlement, so we are discussing about credit sales. So whenever there is a credit sales or credit purchase, it will be settled after some point of time. That time, if for some reason some discount is given, that is known as cash discount. Are you able to understand? So cash discount, I will say, are those discount which is given at the time of settlement for any reason. Reason can be anything. That is known as cash discount. So can you say on the date of trade, you know only trade discount, or it can be rebate. Rebate means what? What is the difference between trade discount and rebate? Rebate is given to some specific customer on happening of certain event. For example, if you are purchasing goods in bulk quantity, so some rebate will be given, but it is not available to all the customer. But that is also given on the date of trade only. So trade discount, rebate are same. The name is different, but their accounting treatment are same. Therefore, trade discount or rebate will be deducted from what? Purchase price. But can you say any settlement discount or any cash discount will not be deducted? That will be transferred to profit and loss account once it is received. So that will be transferred to PL account once it is received. So there is no deduction. Means settlement discount or cash discount are transferred to PL when received. Understood? So I hope you have understood purchase price is equal to invoice price less trade discount or rebate plus non-refundable duties and taxes. Any doubt in this? No doubt. Correct. Now what is the meaning of directly attributable cost? Once again, directly attributable costs are incremental cost. This word is very important. Incremental cost. Incremental cost means what? Incremental costs are those costs which will be incurred only when such asset is acquired or constructed. Means any cost which is related to the ongoing activities of the entity, means which will be incurred even though the asset is not acquired, that are not incremental costs. So that will not be capitalized. That will not be capitalized. So any ongoing expenditure, any expenditure which is related to ongoing activities are not incremental costs. Correct? Now just write down ongoing expenses are not incremental cost, are not incremental cost. So I hope you understand the meaning of incremental cost. Incremental costs are those costs which will be incurred only when such asset is acquired or constructed, that become directly attributable expenses. All such directly attributable expenses will be capitalized. So these are the costs incurred to bring the asset in present location, in the location and condition for its intended use, and in condition for its intended use. For example, you purchase AC, so you will incur some transportation cost and then you will incur installation expenses. So both will be capitalized to bring in the present location and to bring in the present working conditions. Understood? So both will be capitalized. So what will be included? Some examples are given. These are only examples. It can be more than this. These are only some examples has been given. For example, any employee benefit expense. Employee benefit expense means what? It is nothing but salary and wages. Yes or no? Any salary and wages arising directly from construction or acquisition of PP. Means suppose in the construction some direct labor are engaged. So of course that will be the cost of direct labor will be capitalized. The cost of direct labor will be capitalized. So any employee benefit expense arising directly from construction or acquisition of the PP, that will be capitalized. Understood? Any transportation cost, any installation and assembly expenses, any site preparation cost. Site preparation cost means what? Cost of preparation and leveling of the land. Means suppose you are doing construction of the building. So first can I say you need to level the land for construction of building. So that is known as site preparation cost. Site preparation cost, that will be also capitalized. That will be also capitalized. Any professional technical fee means any consultant fee. Means for example, you are doing construction of the building, so you require some advice from architecture, etc. So that will be also what? Capitalized. So any professional technical fee will be capitalized. Any cost of testing. Now sometime what happens? Some testing cost will be incurred. Normally it will not happen for small items of property, plant and equipment. But suppose you purchase some expensive item of PP. Let's say a plant and machinery, plant of rupees 5 crore or 10 crore, etc. Correct? So can you say before you purchase it, you need to be satisfied as per the efficiency of that plant, because you are using that plant for the first time. So for that reason, the vendor will give you some testing period. They will say, okay, nothing to worry, you can use this plant for certain period, for example 15 days, and you become satisfied. If you are satisfied, then you can purchase it. Correct? Now, so during the testing period, there will be some trial run of that property, plant and equipment. When you are doing some trial run, some expenditure will be incurred for that testing. For example, if you are doing production for 15 days for testing period, for testing the efficiency of that plant, you will incur some direct labor, direct material, etc. So that become your testing cost. So the testing cost will be also capitalized. The testing cost will be also capitalized. So any cost of testing, whether the asset is working properly, will be also capitalized. Will be also capitalized. Now during the testing period, there might be some units which are produced. So some unit will be produced. Some unit produced. So you will sell it. So there will be some sale proceed from the unit produced during that testing period. Now suppose 1 lakh is the testing cost and you produce 1000 unit which can be sold in the market at rupees 10. It means 10,000 can be recovered from the sale of 10,000 can be recovered from the sale of unit produced during testing period. So you will capitalize 1 lakh, you will capitalize 90,000. 90,000 understood because it is written, you have already read it. Correct now. So after deducting the net proceed from the sale of any product produced during the testing period, it means 90,000 will be capitalized. 90,000 will be capitalized. Understood? Any doubt? No doubt. Right. Now one doubt will come. Suppose the testing cost is 1 lakh and the sale proceed is 1,20,000. Then what will happen? So can you see it will become negative 20,000? This become negative 20,000. Are you able to understand? So whether it will be capitalized. When I say capitalize not only means always plus, it is minus also. So if it is plus, then capitalize means add it. If it is minus, then capitalize means deduct from the cost price of the asset. Understood? So capitalize does not means only you add it. When you are saying capitalize means it will be adjusted to the cost price of property, plant and equipment. Property, plant and equipment. Are you able to understand what I am saying? It will be adjusted to the cost price of property, plant and equipment. Now my question to you all, whether this minus 20,000 will be capitalized. However, previously Ind AS 16 was silent regarding this. Then one amendment came in IAS 16. What IAS 16 says, as per IAS 16, deduction of proceed of item produced during testing from the cost of an deduction of proceed of item produced during the testing from a cost of an item of PP is not written, is not permitted. So one amendment came. Because of that reason, one clarification was given under Ind AS 16. What was that clarification that I need to explain? What was the clarification? What they said, the excess of net proceed from sale of item produced during the testing will not be credited to PL. Means they are saying the excess of net proceed from sale of item produced during testing will not be credited to PL. It means it will be deducted from the cost of an item of PP. So now this particular point minus 20,000 will be also deducted from what? Cost price of PP. Means it will be also capitalized. One clarification has been given, and because of that reason there is another carve out. This become another carve out. Second carve out of your life. Understood this point? It means if this type of questions come where the cost of testing is 1 lakh and 1,20,000 is the sale proceed, then the negative 20,000 will be also deducted from the cost price of PP. Understood? Any doubt? It is impossible. We are only discussing the practical point. We are not discussing the impractical point, because in testing period we will not produce the large number of items. Understood now? It is a testing period of 10 days, 15 days only. Are you able to? It is practically impossible, because I have already said these are the testing period is already allowed for the expensive item of PP. Expensive item. Correct now? It means the cost price will be 5 crore, 10 crore, 15 crore, 100 crore, like this. Correct? Then only testing period is allowed. For a small item, for example, I demanded some testing period for the camera. They say, go home. They will never allow now. Once the packet is opened, it become the asset of mine. Understood? So in that case, no testing is allowed. But for expensive item, vendor will give, because it is an expensive item. So of course the buyer need to be satisfied before they want to purchase it. Are you able to understand? Yes, sir. So clarification, have you understood? The excess of net profit from sale of item, correct, produced during the testing period will not be credited to PL. It will be deducted from the cost price of PP. This clarification has been given. This becomes the second carve out of your life. Chalega. So you have understood directly attributable expenses. Directly attributable expenses you have understood. Now the next point is what? Initial estimated cost of dismantling and removing the item or restoring the site on which it has been located. On which it has been located. It means what? First, it is estimated amount. Why it is estimated amount? Because right now you purchase an item, correct, and you started using it. But the dismantling will come when? At the end of its useful life. And right now initial recognition is done on the date when the asset is ready for use. So it means such expenditure is not known to us. So of course estimation is required. Estimation is required. Let me take one example. Let me take one example that you purchase AC, purchase price will be capitalized. Then transportation cost will be capitalized. Then you have done installation, installation cost will be capitalized. Means this become A and B, point number A and B. So point number A and B has been done. Then once installation done, can you say we will start using it? So at this point of time, it becomes the asset ready for its use. Now at this point of time, what we are thinking, at the end of its useful life, suppose the useful life is 5 years. So at the end of useful life, you will dismantle it. So there will be some dismantling expenses, correct? Then you remove AC. So there will be some removing cost. Then can you say you need to restore the wall where it was installed, because once you dismantle it, the wall may be destroyed. So there will be some restoration cost of the wall in which the AC was installed, correct? So there will be dismantling cost, removing cost, and restoration cost. Are you able to understand? And right now we don't know this actual amount, we don't know, so we need to estimate it. Estimation we can do. This much amount will be expended. Now my question to you all, whether this will be capitalized? Yes, it will be capitalized because we are doing that only. If you are saying capitalized, if you are saying capitalized because you are going to your office, you said right now capitalized na? Are bolna re? You are saying it will be capitalized. You are going to your office. You are also doing audit. In your client place, there are many air conditioner. So have you seen this type of expenses you have capitalized? Are you able to understand what I am saying? In your client place there are AC or not, and you have done audit of property, plant and equipment. So whether this type of expenses you have estimated, and have you ever capitalized it? And AS10 is also same to same. Suppose you have not listed company, you are doing audit for unlisted company for which Ind AS is not applicable, then AS10 is applicable. As per AS10 also it will be capitalized. So my question to you all, if you know AS10, why you have not applied it? It means, can I say you read it but you never apply it? Means whatever audit you are doing bakwas audit. Yes or no? When you are doing audit, you should apply AS or Ind AS. I don't know what you do in audit. What do you do in audit? Are you going for audit or you are not going for audit? Are bolna re? Are you going for audit? So in audit, what do you do? I'm asking you, in audit, what do you do? Verify what? Books of account. In books of account, what do you verify? In books of account, what do you verify? Financial statement, what do you verify? All the item. Which item you have verified? Give me any item. Asset. In asset, which item you have verified? There are many assets. Inventory, there are investment. So which asset you have verified? All asset. Which asset? You have verified investment, inventory, intangible asset, PP. I'm asking PP. So for PP, have you applied AS10? No. So what is the audit? Why you are going there? You are wasting your time now. If you are saying that you have not cross-verified the application of accounting standard 10, then what you are doing there? Are you able to understand this? What happened in Article C? We are wasting our time. Why we are wasting our time? Because nobody has explained you what to do. Nobody has explained. In CA Article C, nobody will train you what to do. Correct? It means we need to learn by our own. And if you know accounting standard 10, you should apply AS10 by your own. Because verification, vouching, whatever you have done in your audit, that says that whatever item you are verifying, that should be as per accounting standard only. So have you ever applied AS10? Acha, chodo. You have done the verification of revenue. Have you applied AS9? No. Means what you do, you just cross check invoice and tuck, invoice, take, invoice, take. Yes or no? Means you are wasting your time. This to anyone can do. This to I will say my son who is studying right now in class 10, given the exam of class 10, he can also do that. Yes or no? He also verify my books of account sometime. So what you are doing? You are wasting your time. So now give me a promise that whenever you go for audit, so for the relevant item, you will always cross verify the respective Ind AS or AS. Give me a promise right now. Then only you learn. Normally what happens, we think that Article C is bakwas and we never try to learn. We do whatever has been given to us and nothing has been given to us, nothing has been explained to us, so we do nothing. We do nothing. I'll just give you one of my story. What happened when I joined Article C. That time after CA Foundation, there was Article C. That time after CA Foundation. So after CA Foundation, I joined Article C. That time though I was not knowing audit subject only. You know audit subject. That time though we have not read audit subject. Now audit will be done at the end. Audit I will study what? When accounts will be completed, when other subject will come, then I will open audit books now. So audit to no knowledge. Yes or no? Correct. And we joined Article C. So believe me, first 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, they will not give anything to us. They will say, come office and do some office work. Office work means what? You can understand what type of job. I was in a small firm. Very small firm. Correct. But I was excited about Article C because I was from a small town and I am from a business background. So I always want to have a white collar job. That tie, etc. I am passionate about that. Correct now? White means I was very much affected by that type of job. I always see some people with suit, tie. I was, kya maja aa raha hai. Then I understood this is nothing after becoming CA. That is something. But we are from a small time. We are always affected by that type of personality. Are you able to answer? Yes or no? Yes. So what happened? So I was very much excited about Article C. So 1 month no job. Then after 1 month, my principal called me. I said, oh, yes sir, what to do? So now you will go for audit. Well, yes, I'll go for audit. I was excited. So he said me that there was one experienced lady. Well, go to her. She will explain you what to do. So, okay. I went to that lady. Correct. I said, ma'am, ma'am, super ma'am. Correct. I need to say ma'am na. Ma'am, what sir has asked me to consult you. What? Well, I need to go for audit. Where? Well, I don't know. Well, okay. Then she said me, go to, there'll be some area where all the files will be kept. Storeroom. Go to that storeroom and take out the file of this particular company of this particular year. I said, okay. I have gone there. I was not knowing how to find out a file. There are so many 1000 files, more than 1000 files. So jaise taise means by any means I just tried to find out that file, and then I came back to that lady. I said, this is the file, what to do? But this is the previous year file. Just go through that. I said, what to go through? Because I was not knowing audit now. Let's just go through that. Tomorrow, at this particular point, means morning at this point of time, go to this address. Address was written. Means client place, client factory, a client premises, office, go to that place. And he has given me one stamp. One stamp, office stamp, and one green pen. One green pen. Well, just go there, ask all the vouchers and do stamping. Okay, only this much. Well, yes. Next day, with fully impressed dress, I was ready. I was excited, going for the audit for the first time. Means I was an auditor. I was excited or not? I went there. Believe me, once I enter the office area, I was expecting someone will give me respect. No respect. Means I was expecting that someone will call me, give me tea, coffee, etc., give me respect. No respect was there, because I was in a small firm. In big firm, I know there is a lot of respect when you go to the client place. So I asked the watchman, where is the office area, where is the accounts department? He said, there, go there. So there was some person to whom I was supposed to meet. I met that person. What he has done? He has given me one table with one chair, a lot of what? Files. And he has gone up. Now what to do? Nothing. Then what my ma'am has said, that every page, because that time I was not knowing audit now. I said, what to do? Nothing. I was not knowing anything. So what every pages I was doing like this. Believe me, 2 days went, I was doing that. Then I understood something is wrong. Yes or no? Because this is not audit. So what happened? I called one of my senior who was in that time KPMG. That time he was in KPMG. So I was knowing he was one of my relatives, one of my friends, whatever. So I called him. Bola, bhaiya, I am in audit. You are in KPMG and I am in this firm. So can you explain what is audit to me? Because I am in audit, I am not able to understand what is this. So he has explained me, but he said that I am busy right now. But I can't explain you everything. What do you do? There is one audit subject for you. I said, yes, audit subject for me. There is one chapter, verification and voucher. Voucher and verification, like this. Yes or no? In C Enter, there is one chapter, na? Voucher and verification. Just go and read it. From my, he said that you will be able to understand what is audit. So what I have done, I went to the home. I opened my audit book. I have read entire voucher verification chapter by my own. I have understood, and many things I have not understood. Whatever I have understood, I have written points. If this is authorization, this need to be checked, this need to be checked. Accounting standard that time, of course, I have not understood. So whatever I have understood, this need to be checked, this need to be checked. I have just written one point. Next day, I went again to the office. I started raising the query. Why this is not there? Why this is not there? Why this is not there? Believe me, I have put many questions to the employees, accounting staff of that particular company. Immediately in the evening, my principal called me. I'm saying this correct story. Immediately in the evening, my principal called me. I was not expecting, and my principal called me. What you are doing there? I'm saying audit. I said audit. Well, what you are asking? Well, I'm asking the questions. Well, who has explained you? Well, I have read from the books. Well, okay, you come next day. Well, you don't go there. You come to my office. I was scared. What I have done? Believe me, I was scared, because first day audit. Now principal is calling me. Now he said, stop going there, you come to my office. I was scared, something is wrong. So I said, okay. Next day I went to the office. My principal, I went to the office, the cabin of my principal. He said, what you have done? I said, I have done this. Where you have studied? I said, I have studied from my audit book. I say, study material. He said, now next day you don't go there. Don't go there. And from next day onward, wherever he was going, he used to take me with him. And he used to explain me each and every point. And within 6 months, he explained me the entire audit. And now he used to give me all important audit. And that time my stipend, he has increased to that amount which he used to give to CA filer student. I am saying this correct story. It means, can I say, your value you will only create. First thing, nobody is going to help you. You need to help yourself. But if you do whatever is explained by others, you will never improve yourself. You do what is actually required. So whenever you are going to articleship, you need to learn by your own what need to be done, what need to be applied there. If you are doing the traditional thing, your value will never increase. You know, in articleship, we are actually doing articleship for learning, not for working. We are not working, we are learning there. And for learning, we are getting stipend. For learning, we are getting stipend. We are not getting stipend for working. So for 2 years or 3 years, whatever articleship you have, I think now to everyone have 2 years articleship. So for 2 years, you are getting stipend, not for working, you are getting stipend for learning. In that way, you should join there. You are here to learn, and you learn by your own. And then only you can improve yourself, and believe me, your value is created from that only. So now you should give me a promise that whenever you are doing any audit, you should apply AS or Ind AS, whatever. And from that only practical understanding will come. What to do, what not to do. In class, we are understanding theoretically. But you are applying this where? Practically, in your articleship office, in your client place. Understood? So when you are applying that, can I say, it will become, means you will be understanding that particular point conceptually, and you will never forget. You will never forget. Understood? So when promise required, you said ki for AC this will be capitalized. That is 100% wrong. For AC, whatever initial estimated cost, whatever example I have given, you said it will be capitalized. But you have never seen this type of capitalization in your office, because we will never capitalize it. Now you don't know because you have not applied it. Yes or no? So for AC example, whatever I have said, that type of initial estimated cost of dismantling, removing or restoration cost will never be capitalized. Now the question is why? Understood? I'll give you another example. Correct? This example you understood? In this, the initial estimated cost of dismantling, removing and restoration cost will not be capitalized. Let me give you one more example. Suppose what happened? You purchase you have taken one building on lease. I mean, lease accounting I am not teaching you. What is Ind AS 116, that I am not teaching. But you have taken one building on lease. Correct? It was an open floor. Suppose this was an open floor, and I have taken this open floor for class purpose. So what I have done? I have done some alteration. I have created some artificial wall. Because this will be class 1, this will be class 2, this will be class 3, this will be some admin office. Artificial wall I have constructed. Now as per the contract with the lessor, after the end of lease term, suppose the lease term is 5 years. The lease term is 5 years. This all alteration, whatever you have done, this need to be dismantled. And I need to give the building, I need to give back this building to the lessor as it was given to me initially. Means I need to restore it also. It means now on the date, once I have acquired this building on lease, because of that contract, I have a contractual obligation to dismantle this artificial wall and do restoration where that artificial wall was constructed. It means I have a contractual obligation of dismantling, removing and restoration cost, restoring the wall where it has been created. And because I have a contractual obligation to dismantle, Ind AS 37 will be applicable. Ind AS 37 will be applicable. And because of Ind AS 37, I need to create a provision for such expenditure. Provision for such future expenditure. It means, can I say, I need to create one provision or not? This provision will be created as per Ind AS 37. And as per Ind AS 37, this provision amount will be the present value of future expenditure. We need to do discounting, and this will be present value of future expenditure, whatever you have estimated. This is Ind AS 37. Now you only say for AC whether there was any contractual obligation, whether there was any legal obligation, whether there was any constructive obligation. No. So for AC example, there was no legal obligation, there was no constructive obligation, therefore Ind AS 37 was not applicable, therefore there was no need to recognize any provision. But in this case, in my example, there is a contractual or legal or constructive obligation, therefore Ind AS 37 will be applicable. I need to recognize provision for such dismantling cost. Now what Ind AS 16 says? This is Ind AS 37. Now what Ind AS 16 says, if there is an obligation, for dismantling, etc., then this will be capitalized to the cost price of PP. So this will be capitalized, this amount of provision will be capitalized to the cost price of PP. Why? Because the benefit of this will be accrued during the useful life of the asset. Are you getting what I am saying? And therefore it will be capitalized. So we will say property, plant and equipment account debit. So this is as per Ind AS 16. So in this journal entry we have applied two Ind AS. Provision we have created as per Ind AS 37 and capitalization we are doing as per Ind AS 16. Capitalization we are doing as per Ind AS 16. So journal entry become PP account debit to provision for dismantling, etc. Have you understood now? Means all the dismantling costs which will be incurred at the end of useful life of that asset will not be capitalized. Only when there is an obligation, which can be contractual obligation or constructive obligation or legal obligation, you can say, which can be legal obligation or constructive obligation, either at a time when the asset was acquired or during the period of use. Means that obligation may arise either at the time of acquisition only or during the period of use. Then such type of cost will be capitalized to the cost price of PP. This is Ind AS 16. This is Ind AS 16. Understood? Have you understood the concept? Conceptual clarity understood? Concept in AS 10 also we have done this, but in AS 10 what we say to the student, any dismantling cost will be capitalized, because in exam they will, whenever they will give dismantling cost, that will be capitalized. They will not give this type of case study, but practically this is required or not? Practically this is required or not? Are you getting yes or no? Understood? It means whenever you are in this point, first you need to ask yourself whether there is any obligation. Whether there is any obligation. Which type of obligation? It can be legal obligation or it can be constructive obligation. Constructive obligation. Now you know constructive. Correct? So whether it can be legal obligation or constructive obligation. So if obligation of DRSL. DRSL means decommissioning, restoration or similar liability. This name has been given under Ind AS 16. Therefore I am using this name only. correct? So it is nothing but decommissioning, restoration and similar liability. If the obligation of DRSL has been incurred when the item of PP was acquired or during the period when the item is used, it will be capitalized to the cost of PP. Amount will be estimated as per the requirement of Ind AS 37. Means what journal entry you are doing for this? PP account debit to provision. PP account debit to provision. In this provision you will apply Ind AS 37. In this PP you will apply Ind AS 16. Now provision Ind AS 37 means can you see every year we need to add interest also as per the requirement of Ind AS 37. If you remember unwinding of provisional amount, remember the interest will be added to the amount of provision, but as per Ind AS, interest will be added to the amount of provision as per which Ind AS? We have done two Ind AS, Ind AS 37, Ind AS 16. Provision means what? Ind AS 37. So you are adding interest to the amount of provision as per which Ind AS? Ind AS 37. So interest will be added. But as per the requirement of Ind AS 37, therefore Ind AS 16 is silent regarding interest. So that for that we will apply Ind AS 37. So I said provision means Ind AS 37. For that Ind AS 16 is silent. To find out the carrying amount of provision, go to Ind AS 37 now. Are you getting what I am saying? For PP means whatever you have capitalized, that will be depreciated as per Ind AS 16. So for this portion, Ind AS 16 will be applicable. For this portion, Ind AS 16 will be applicable. Understood? Can you see if the obligation of DRSL has not been incurred? AC wala example. Correct? When item of PP was acquired or during the period when the item is used, it will not be capitalized. Then it will be treated as cost of disposal on derecognition of asset. So can you say it is nothing but when you are dismantling, when you want to dispose it, so that dismantling cost will become cost of disposal. Now what is the accounting treatment of cost of disposal? That I will explain when I will do derecognition of the asset. So any dismantling cost when it was not initially capitalized will be considered as cost of disposal. I will explain about cost of disposal when I will do derecognition of the asset. But have you understood? It will not be capitalized. It will not be capitalized. Understood? Correct? Chalega. This much you understood. Now this one is special point. This one is special point. Try to understand this special point. I will read, then I will explain. What is given? An entity apply Ind AS to inventory. Now, we have not done Ind AS 2 because after this we will do Ind AS 2, but you know AS 2. AS 2, Ind AS 2, 90% same. Correct? 95% same. Okay. So, entity apply Ind AS 2 inventory to the cost of obligation for dismantling, removing and restoring the site on which an item is located that are incurred during a particular period as a consequences of having used the item to produce inventory during that period. Have you understood? Not able to understand now? Just try to understand what actually they want to say. Sometime what happened? Suppose we receive a special order. For production. Okay. Let us say for manufacturing of aeroplane. I am taking a better example. Aeroplane. Now manufacturing of one aeroplane will take what? Around 4 to 5 years. Correct. Normally what manufacturer do, they will not construct each item, they will purchase all the parts and then they will do assembling. We do assembling, but assembling will also take more than 1 year. It is a big aeroplane. There are many things to assemble. Now what happened? For that purpose, they will create one artificial site. Means they will temporary site. Suppose this is the open land and they created one temporary site for the assembling of each part of aeroplane. And they know that this will take what, 2 years. It will take 2 years. Understood? And after 2 years, whatever temporary site was constructed that required demolition or not? That required demolition, correct? Let us assume that there is an obligation for demolition. Because if there is no legal obligation, the question of recognition of provision will not apply. So we are assuming that yes, there is a either legal obligation or constructive obligation. Even though there is no legal obligation, there will be a constructive obligation. Because once the aeroplane manufactures, then what will do there? We'll demolish it only. So there is a constructive obligation. Correct. Now, in this, what they are doing? They are assembling what? Aeroplane. Are you getting what I am saying? Now, you only see, just try to understand this, whatever temporary site that will be demolished. So, this dismantling cost, removing cost, or restoration of site where it was located, this actually has been incurred for production, yeah, manufacturing of aeroplane or not. Aeroplane is right now inventory for us. Aeroplane is inventory. Yes or no? Aeroplane is not PP for us because we'll do manufacturing and we'll sell it. So this aeroplane become what? Inventory for us. So you only say this dismantling cost, removing cost, and whatever cost, whatever has been incurred, that is nothing but for the production of what? Aeroplane. So it should be included in the cost price of what? Aeroplane. Because you recover it from whom? Customer only. This is direct, this is nothing but this is one type of directly attributable expenses for production of inventory. So this will be recovered from whom? Customer. And therefore Ind AS 16 says that in this situation, this will be added to the cost price of inventory and apply what? Ind AS 2. And apply Ind AS 2. Understood? Have you understood? No question of this nature has been given. Only one small one small question has been given. Can be asked in multiple choice question. Can be asked in multiple choice question. But very important para practically. Have you understood this point? Now if you read, you will be able to understand. Now read it. An entity applies Ind AS 2 inventory to the cost of obligation for dismantling, removing and restoring the site on which an item is located that are incurred. That are incurred. When I just stop. When I am explaining something, listen. Okay, then don't write. When I am writing, then you write now. Otherwise, what will happen? I will explain. You will not listen. I will move to other point. One doubt will come. Correct. Understood? What I am saying, once again, entity apply Ind AS 2 to what? To the cost of obligation for dismantling, removing and restoring site on which item is located that are incurred, means this cost are incurred during a period, during a particular period, as a consequences of having used the item, correct, to produce inventory during that period. Means during that period we were producing some inventory. The entire dismantling cost, etc., for which provision has been created, that will be capitalized to the cost price of inventory. That will be capitalized to the cost price of inventory. Means in this our jana it will be inventory account debit to provision. Inventory account debit to provision. Understood? So in this our jana entry will be inventory account debit to provision. And can you say normally this type of situation will happen only when you are receiving some special order. Means this is not your routine manufacturing. When there is a routine manufacturing, then you are doing manufacturing in your own premises, which will not be dismantled. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Suppose if I am taking classes in my classroom, this is my classroom, I will not do dismantling right now. There is no obligation to dismantle. So there is some special order. Are you getting? For that, you may construct a temporary site for which you have a constructive obligation to dismantle it, and that is only for the purpose of production of that inventory. In that case, you add entire dismantling cost, etc., to the cost price of inventory. Correct or not? 100% correct. 100% correct. Have you understood this? Have you understood this? Correct. Means in simple word, now from examination point of view, whenever they have given dismantling etc., dismantling cost etc., and if the question is silent about legal or constructive obligation, then what you will assume? Yes, there is a legal or constructive obligation. By your own, you don't assume there is no legal or constructive obligation. However, at CA final exam, they normally mention there is a legal or constructive obligation. And if there is a legal or constructive obligation, it will be capitalized at present value of future expenditure. Discounting factor will be given. You are expert in discounting. Chalega. Let me take one simple question what they have given. On 1/4/2017, a PP is acquired for rupees 50 lakh, subject to a trade discount of 10% and GST of 18%. Credit of GST is not available. Means it become non-refundable. Other directly attributable cost of 5 lakh. Useful life of PP is 5 years, and as per applicable law, legal obligation, PP need to dismantle at the end of useful life. Estimated cost of dismantling is 6 lakh. Appropriate discount rate is 10%. In this, you need to calculate cost price. How to calculate cost price? We'll take invoice price. Invoice price how much? 50 lakh. Then minus trade discount 5 lakh means 10% 50 lakh. So this will become 45 lakh. In this, we will add GST. GST is 18%. 18% of 45 lakh is 8 lakh 10,000. The total become 53 lakh 10,000. So this become purchase price. This is purchase price, na? This is purchase price. In this, we'll add all the directly attributable expenses. How much directly attributable expenses has been given? I have given you 5 lakh. So 5 lakh has been added. Directly attributable expenses has been added. Yes or no? Now, in this, we'll also add present value of dismantling cost, etc. So, what is given? 6 lakh. 6 lakh after how many years? 5 years. You will find out discounting factor. Discounting factor at a rate of 10% for 5 years. How much? Batao. It will be 6 lakh multiplied by what? Huh? (6209) 0.6209. What answer is coming? Check karo. Same answer is coming. It means I have done correct. Okay. So this become what? Your provisional amount which will be added to the cost price of PP, and this become the total cost price. Total cost price. Simple. Simple. Understood? So what will be the journal entry? Batao. For this example, what will be journal entry? Batao, PP account debit how much? PP account debit 61 lakh 82,000 540 to provision for decommissioning cost. How much? It is 3,72,540. And balance, let us assume it is paid to bank. How much? Balance, we are assuming the amount has been paid. How much? This minus this? (58 lakh 10,000). Correct. If I am saying, suppose this journal entry was done on 1/4, it is given date. Date given 1/4/2017. So 1/4/2017. Now on 31st March 2018, they have not asked, only to explain you. Only to explain you. Can I say, in this will apply Ind AS 37. So we'll add interest expense. Interest expense transfer to PL. How much? It is 10%. So 10% will be 37,252. Correct na? 37,252 na? 4. It is 4. That's a 40. It is 40. Okay, sir. It is 54. To what? To provision. And provision will increase by 37,254. Correct. And we will charge depreciation on which amount? On the cost price. Journal entry will be depreciation, account debit to accumulated depreciation. Accumulate depreciation. It will be 6182,500. 6182,500 divided by what? Sorry, 540. Divided by what is the useful life? 5 years. So divided by 5, how much? How much? 12 lakh? 36,508. 12 lakh 36,508. Understood? Super easy or not? Easy? Super easy? Yes, sir. A similar question was asked recently in exam. I'd like to inform you. Question number, I think 34. This question. Look, exam November 2024. 6 marks. 6 marks. A lollipop question. But then also students are doing mistake. I don't know why. On 1st April 2020, Peacock Limited started its manufacturing operation by installing a machine in the rented premises. The estimated life of the machine is 4 years. As per terms of the rent agreement, I have given the similar example. Na? Peacock Limited has a present obligation to dismantle the machine and restore the premises into original space. Same. The company estimates to incur 6 lakh at the end of 4th year to restore the premises into original shape. The borrowing rate applicable to the company is 8%. They have given present value factor also very good, 0.735. You are required to advise the accounting treatment of the above and pass necessary journal entry across all the 4 years. Batao, whether difficult question at CA final level for 6 marks, how much you should score? 6 marks. Then also in exam hall, what actually happened to student, we don't know. What actually happened? First, we should write an accounting treatment that present value of decommissioning cost, because there is a present obligation, a provision should be created, and as per Ind AS 16, it should be capitalized. That is only they have written the present value of such decommissioning and site restoration obligation at the end of 4th year is this, which will be recognized, means Peacock Limited will recognize the present value as a liability as per Ind AS 37 and as an addition to the cost of PP as per Ind AS 16, and will also recognize the corresponding decommissioning liability. Means you can add on in your own words. You can better add on this is created as per Ind AS 37 and capitalization we are doing as per Ind AS 16. You can add on that also. Further, the entity will recognize the unwinding of discount as finance charge every year till the estimated life of the machine. This is as per Ind AS 37. Correct. What journal entry? First, machinery account debit to provision. Then interest. You can add on interest expense. Finance charge or interest expense. Interest expense to provision. First year. Then depreciation for how many years? What is the useful life they have given? Useful life is also given what? 4 years. to divide by 4 you do. So that will be depreciation. As a depreciation journal entry they have not done, but you can do it. That is your choice. They have not given depreciation journal entry. They have done only finance cost journal entry. But depreciation journal entry also you can do. Yes or no? Because that will be depreciated for how many years? 4 years. Correct. And they have done one more journal entry, PL account debit to finance charge. But normally at CA final level now, I will say if there is an expense you can add on PL yahan par. We normally at CA final level we don't pass closing entry. That is understood point will be charged to PL. At CA final level we don't pass closing entry. At CA inter level we say pass closing entry also. Because most of the question you will see they are not passing closing entry. So if you have time you can pass closing entry also. PL account debit to finance charge. For this 6 marks and last May provision account debit to bank means they have assumed that whatever was estimated that become actual. So if nothing is given we'll also assume that only. So provision account debit to bank. Then they have given one working note about that interest. That working note you can do by your own. Yes or no? बताओ 6 marks lollipop question or not? Lollipop question चलेगा. So you have understood this. So 34 we have done. चलेगा? Yes sir. Let me take one more question. Or better, I'll take one good question at the end. Okay? This much any doubt? So you have understood purchase price, you have understood directly attributable expense, you have understood what? Initial estimated cost of decommissioning, removing and restoring the site where it has been located. Correct? Now, this point I will come back at the end. Don't worry. Come to self-constructed asset. Self-constructed asset. You already understood that a PP will be either acquired or constructed. Means if I say in this way, write down. Whenever we are discussing about PP, you can say PP will be either acquired or constructed. Correct? I can add on, it can be also leased. Whenever it is leased, then Ind AS 116. Then it is Ind AS 116. It is outside the scope of this chapter. Means PP has been acquired on lease, then outside the scope of this chapter. Now when I am saying acquired, it can be monetary consideration, or it can be non-monetary consideration. Correct? Or it can be by way of government grant. By way of government grant means government grant means PP is acquired by way of government grant. You have received PP from government. Now if you have received PP from government as a grant, then Ind AS 20 will be applicable. Then go to Ind AS 20. Now when I am saying monetary consideration, so either there can be 2 points, either payment is not deferred beyond normal credit or payment is deferred beyond normal credit. This point already we have done. Yes or no? Already we have done this point in the last class only. So for this Ind AS 16 is applicable. For this Ind AS 16 is applicable. Now, for non-monetary consideration, either it can be acquired in exchange of other assets, then Ind AS 16 is applicable. Or it can be acquired by allotment of equity shares. By allotment of equity shares. Understood? Means you purchase PP and you have allotted equity shares of your company. Then Ind AS 102 is applicable. Ind AS 16 is silent regarding this. Have you understood? I have just given all situation. Now when I am saying payment is deferred beyond normal credit period, it means what? It is installment purchase, huh? It is installment purchase, na? This is installment purchase. One question already we have done. Question number 1. Installment purchase. Have you understood the entire thing? Now, only we need to now concentrate on that topic for which Ind AS 16 is applicable. So if you acquire some PP by way of lease, then it is outside the scope of our topic right now. Then we need to go to Ind AS 116. If you receive some PP by way of government grant, then Ind AS 20 will be applicable. If you have purchased PP by allotment of equity share, then Ind AS 102 will be applicable. Then we are not discussing that point here. It means we are discussing either acquired for monetary consideration or acquired for non-monetary consideration or constructed. In all these three cases, the element remains same. Elements of cost remain same. So there are three elements. That element remains same. Are you getting? So whether you have acquired for monetary consideration, whether you have acquired for non-monetary consideration, or whether you have acquired for what? Whether you have constructed that as self-constructed, the element remains same. So can you say for constructed self, in this also write down Ind AS 16. Whenever it is self-constructed, the elements of the cost will remain same. Means same thing, purchase price, directly attributable expenses, and if there is some initial estimated cost of dismantling, etc., that become the element of this constructed asset. Whenever there is a self-construction, so there can be two type of cost. One is known as specific cost, one is known as allocable cost. So specific cost will be directly added. Any allocable cost means any cost which is incurred in two or more than two construction contracts. So suppose you are using a plant, suppose you are using any plant and equipment for construction of 2 buildings. The depreciation of that plant and equipment will be added to the cost price of 2 buildings in some allocable ratio. That allocable ratio will be given in the question. This much portion should be allocated. Understood? It means the elements remain same. So what they want to say, the cost of self-constructed asset will be calculated as same principle as discussed above. As discussed above means the element remains same. However, the component of cost will be specific cost or allocable cost of construction. It will be specific cost or allocable cost of construction. However, there are 3 special points that you need to keep in your mind. First thing, can you say if there is any abnormal loss during the construction period, that will not be capitalized. Any abnormal loss will be charged to PL as an expense. So any abnormal loss during construction activity should be charged to PL account, which will be excluded from the cost price. Second clarification they have given, any internal profit included in the cost should be eliminated. Internal profit means what? They may be, just try to understand, in one company there may be many departments. Now whenever one department transfers some goods or services to other department, they may charge some profit from the internal department. Correct? Means suppose this is one company and there are department 1, department 2. Department 1 will purchase raw material for construction and department 2 will do construction of building. So it means they purchase raw material from supplier. So suppose the cost price of their raw material is 100. Correct. Okay, they should transfer this to department 2 at their cost price only, because this is the what, one company only. But they what they will do, they will transfer at profit. So it means the cost price for department 2 become 110. Are you able to understand? Now for this construction, the direct material you only say is 110 or it is 100 for the company as a whole. Means if you are finding out the construction cost of building, you should add 100 or you should add 110. Bolo? This is only an internal profit. This is internal profit now, which should be eliminated because this is not the profit of the company as total, and therefore it will be eliminated. So they have given one clarification. I hope from my point of view this clarification was not required. This is understood point. We never do accounting department wise, we do accounting always from company wise. So they are just giving clarification. If suppose internal profit is included in the cost price, eliminate that to find out the cost price of construction. Understood? So here this will not be correct. Your direct material will be what, 100, not 110. Understood? Correct. So one clarification has been given. We have discussed that also. Then one more clarification has been given about some income and expense related to some incidents or operation. Let me take one example again. You suppose this is a land and you are constructing building in 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Right now the construction is development of building is for phase 1. So phase 2, this land is right now idle. Understood what I am saying? So as an entity, as a businessman, what will you do? Can you see, you will use this land, open land, for some other incidental operation. After some point of time, we will start construction in this land also. But quite possible for the time being, you may use this land for some other incidental operation. Suppose you have given this land to public for parking purpose. So you have given this for parking purpose. So this is some incidental operation. You will generate some income from this, and some expense will be also incurred from this incidental operation. So whatever income you have generated, whatever expense you have incurred, the question is that this amount will be transferred to PL or this amount can be capitalized to the cost of construction. What you are saying? It will be transferred to PL. Once again, common sense, you have applied common sense. This is not directly attributable to the construction activity. Simple word. Just think whether it is directly attributable for the acquisition or construction PP. It is not directly attributable. This is some incidental operation. So this will be transferred to PL. This will be transferred to PL. Already this particular point has been asked in exam. Can be again asked. Can be again asked. Good point. So what they are saying, the income and the related expense of any incidence or operation that may occur before or during the construction or development of an item or PP are recognized in PL. For example, income may be earned through using a building site as a car park until construction starts. Correct? Understood? But if I give you one more example, suppose you purchase one old building. You purchase some old building. Correct? Now you want to construct a new building. So first you will do demolition and then you will do construction of what? Construction of new building. Understood? Now when you will do demolition, there will be some demolition expenses. Correct? Yes or no? And can you say there will be some scrap material? You can sell that scrap material. So there will be some proceed from sale of scrap. Are you able to understand? So this amount, what do you think, will be capitalized or transferred to PL? Will be capitalized or transferred to PL? How many are saying PL? How many are saying capitalize? Capitalize. So it will be capitalized. It will be capitalized. Why? Because just try to understand, this demolition was necessary for construction of building. The new building cannot be construction without demolition. So this is directly attributable expenses. Directly attributable expenses. Can you do construction of new building without demolition of old building? No, not possible. This is become a directly attributable expenses to bring the asset for its intended use. Are you able to understand? So yes, it will be capitalized. This will be capitalized. Understood? Have you understood this point? Chalega? Got this point? Yes, sir. This also you have understood. Now, what are excluded from cost price? Simply, any expenses which are not directly attributable will not be included in the cost price. Yes or no? So, but they have given some example. Let us read this example. Normally in exam they ask this example only. However, I will say apply your common sense which are not directly attributable. That will not be capitalized. Means which are not incremental cost. That will not be capitalized. Correct? So, examples of cost that are not cost of an item of PP are cost of conducting business in a new location or with a new class of customer. With a new class of customer. Now, cost of conducting a business in a new location means you are conducting. The cost of conducting a business means just try to understand. I have opened this classroom. Means already this classroom studio is constructed. Now I am conducting my classes in a new location. Whether the cost of conducting the classes in new location, whether it will be capitalized, never. Means I am doing business. The cost of doing business will not be capitalized now. They are just giving clarification. Can you say this is the expenses incurred once the asset is ready for use? So once the asset is ready for use, then whatever expenses you are incurring, that will never be capitalized. The cost of conducting a business. For example, for just try to understand, I purchase a camera. I purchase camera. Now I will use camera for my recording purpose. For that I have trained my employee how to use this camera. So this is staff training expenses for conducting business or for bringing this asset in working condition. For conducting the business. Therefore, they said any staff training, example, cost of staff training will never be capitalized. Will never be capitalized. Understood? Cost incurred in introducing a new product or services. For example, I started my new academy, new classroom, new business. I will do promotional activity. I will give some inauguration. I will do some inauguration function. So some inauguration expenses may be incurred. Whether it will be capitalized, it will never be capitalized. Correct. Now, once again, these are expenses incurred once the asset is actually ready for use. The cost incurred in introducing a new product or service will never be capitalized. Cost of opening a new facility, inauguration expense, already I have said. Administrative and other general overhead, any admin expense, any other general overhead will never be capitalized. Correct. I hope you have understood. Even though I will not read, you will be able to understand. But I need to read because each point is important from exam point of view. In simple word, directly attributable expenses will be capitalized, which are not directly attributable, or any expense which are incurred once the asset is ready for its intended use will never be capitalized. Will never be capitalized. Can you say when to cease capitalization? I've already said when to cease capitalization once the asset is ready for its intended use. So what they are saying, recognition of cost in the carrying amount of item of PP ceases when the item is ready for its intended use. Correct. It means once it is ready, now any expense incurred after that will never be capitalized. So any expense incurred after the asset is ready for its intended use and actually it is put to use will be charged to PL account as an expense. Already I have informed you. So they have given some example. For example, if the following costs, for example, the following costs are not included in the carrying amount of an item of PP, cost incurred while an item is ready for its intended use has yet to brought into use will never be capitalized. Correct. Means once the asset is ready for use but which is not yet brought to use. So till the date when it is brought to use, any expenses incurred will be charged to PL as an expense. Correct. Any initial operating losses means what? Any initial operating losses means what? You are doing some business, in that business some losses are incurred, whether it will be capitalized, it will never be capitalized. Correct. Now means once I will give my example. When we shifted from face to face to what? Recorded mode. So face to face was our profit making that time. A lot of students were there, but suddenly if you shift to recorded mode, can you say slowly it will what? The student will come. Yes or no? Because that was our new venture. So ho sakta hai initially we are incurring some losses. So whether we will capitalize that our initial losses, that is nothing to do with the cost price of PP. That is your operating loss. Operating loss will be charged to profit and loss account. Correct. Cost of relocating or reorganizing part or of an entity's operation. This is nothing but restructuring. Restructuring we have done now. Restructuring. Let me take one example. Suppose right now this is our business location and this all furniture, AC, etc. has been installed. Now we decided to shift the location from this building to another building. Quite possible. So what we'll do? We'll dismantle it and we'll do reinstallation in the new building. Means AC will be dismantled and will be again installed in the new building. That shifting cost, whether it will be capitalized. That is nothing. Shifting cost now means we'll shift the AC from this place to that place. So can you say it was already ready for use? Now if you are doing shifting, does not mean you are again installing it. Means this is not a new asset for you. So whatever relocation cost will never capitalize. It will be charged to PL as an expense. Understood? Have you understood this point? The cost of relocating or reorganizing means this is nothing but restructuring. Restructuring, for that provision is required. For restructuring, what is required? Provision is required as per Ind AS 37 for restructuring cost, but that will never be capitalized to the cost price of PP, correct? So for restructuring, you can say Ind AS 37 is applicable. Ind AS 37 is applicable. Already we have done or not? But it will never be capitalized to the cost price of PP. It will never be capitalized to the cost price of PP, even though you are creating a provision. Even though you are creating a provision. Yes or no? So this will be always charged to profit and loss account as an expense. This point number C, again I will ask you in some other chapter, that time you will do mistake. So retain this concept whatever I am saying. And if you have doubt right now, you ask me. Chalega. When to cease capitalization also done. Then there are two special note about borrowing cost. So borrowing cost will be capitalized, but as per the requirement of Ind AS 23 coming soon. So borrowing cost will be capitalized, but as per the requirement of Ind AS 23. Means AS 16, thoda AS 16 you know. So in this chapter, suppose there is some question of capitalization of borrowing cost, so we will apply the knowledge of AS 16 and do it. Detailed discussion will do where? Ind AS 23. Okay? Yes sir. Then government grant received may be deducted from the cost price of PP as per Ind AS 20. I hope you remember AS 12. If you receive some government grant for purchase of PP, there are two options. Either deduct government grant from the cost price of PP or treat government grant as deferred income. Remember? So AS 12 and Ind AS 20 is same to this extent. So Ind AS 20 says that if any government grant has received, deduct from the cost price, you may deduct from the cost price of PP. So that is as per the requirement of Ind AS 20. We'll discuss there. We'll discuss there. So any government grant received may be deducted from the cost price of PP as per Ind AS 20. Got this point? Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Chalo. Let me take one question so that you'll feel happy. One good question, I will take question 13. Can I take directly one good question? This question was asked in exam for how many marks? 8 marks. How many marks? 8 marks. Same to same question was asked. Correct? And you can also write down expected. Okay, sir? Now, just try to understand. This type of question does not require my calculation because this is plus minus. What to plus, what not to plus. So, I will only read and I will discuss. You will do it by your own. Because at CA final level, I'll give you the solution. It does not look good now. I will discuss only the all special point. But calculation you can do by your own. This plus minus you can do by your own now. For that you don't require my help. Presentation also you can understand from the solution. Correct now? Wherever solution required, I'll give you the solution. Yes, sir. So what is given? On 1st April 2001, Sun Limited purchased sum of land for rupees 10 million, including legal cost of rupees 1 million. So legal cost will be capitalized, will not be capitalized. Capitalized. It is already included in 10 million, so already capitalized. Chalega. In order to construct a new factory, construction work commenced on 1st May 2001. Construction work commenced on which date? 1st May. And the land was purchased on which date? 1st April. Sun Limited incurred the following cost in relation with the construction. So for construction, following cost was incurred. Preparation, labeling of land, whether it will be capitalized? Yes, I am writing yes. Purchase of material for construction, whether it will be capitalized? Yes, but be careful. Some figures are given in lakh with total amount. Some figure is given in millions. So here student do mistake in exam hall. They don't write correctly the amount. Okay, 1 million is equal to 10 lakh. So 3 lakh is how much million? You want to write in millions or in thousand or in total amount? Total amount. So you need to convert this 6.08. So 6.08, what do you say? 60 lakh? 60 lakh, 80,000 na? Correct? Okay, sir. So I'm just converting in what? Total amount. Correct. However, you can see the solution is given in thousands. Solution is given in thousand. Means they have written 6080. They have written 6080. That is your choice. You want to write in millions, total amount, or thousands. Your choice, na? Yes, sir. So your answer is also correct. Then employment cost of construction worker 2 lakh per month. Whenever they are given per month, you need to find out when the asset is ready for use. Up to that month, it will be capitalized. So you'll do multiply by number of months that we don't know right now. Correct now? Overhead costs incurred directly on construction of factory 1 lakh per month. In this also per month, multiply by number of months. Ongoing overhead costs allocated to the construction project using the company's normal overhead allocation model. Ongoing, but whether it will be capitalized. This is ongoing overhead cost. I said any expenditure which is related to ongoing activities will never be capitalized because these are not incremental costs, if you remember. So they are written ongoing. Understand the word ongoing. Dangerous or not? If you will not read the question carefully, maja aa raha hai, because you will say overhead, maja aa raha hai. So one simple point can make one question wrong. Means how they will give marks? They will give marks like this. What is the total? This is the total is what? This is the total. If this is not correct, 0 marks. Means you don't think they will do acha half marks, half marks, half marks. No, 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 no. For this, whether you want, for if you are writing purchase land capitalized, they will give you half marks. They will see total. Total is wrong, 0. And normally this is only step marking. Step marking what? For each step. If that step is correct, then marks na. So in this, the first step is what? To find out cost price only. Are bunna re. What is the step? You are calculating cost price. That is only the step. Are you able to understand? Correct? Ha. If there is some working note, for that working note also there is some marks. So you don't think that acha for this some marks, for this, sir, we have written this much, some marks should be given. Cry, how much you want to cry? How much you want to blame others? Once again, I am saying here the criteria is rejection or selection? Rejection, not selection. Because we want 20% result only. Means if suppose everyone written correct, then also 20%. Are you getting? If suppose everyone have written correct answer, what will be the passing mark? What will be the passing result? 20%. Means whenever simple question paper, hard checking. Whenever difficult question paper, easy checking. And so this is the rule. Whenever difficult question paper, now higher chances of pass when you are writing correctly. Whenever simple question paper, even though you are writing, you may or may not get marks. That time, so they will take each and everything. And therefore, we sometimes think that ICA is not good. ICA is good only. This is the requirement of what? This is the requirement of what? Market. When you will become CA, right now, I am a teacher, you are a student. Our requirement is different. But once you become CA, you will see, less CA. ICA should not pass this much CA because more CA, the value of CA will decrease. Once you will become CA, you will only want ICA should not produce CA. Am I right or not? As a teacher, I will say no, not good. But you ask me as a CA, if I am a CA, I will say ICA is doing correct only. Because I am a teacher also, I am not happy when they are not giving marks. I am not happy when they are not giving marks for correct solution. But they don't have any choice. Understood? Are you able to understand? Correct. But we need to accept it. This is the rule. Sometimes when the rule is made, we are supposed to follow it. So some rule has been created. And always I say, just try to understand this point. You just understand, out of 100 marks now, I will say 10 marks is an abnormal loss. Means when you are writing an exam, write with one belief that you will not get 10 marks. Means even though your 10 marks question is correct, then also you may not be given 10 marks. 10 marks abnormal loss will be in every question paper, in every solution given by any student. Means out of 90, you will score 50. I always say, think accordingly. Means if you are expecting 60, your marks is 50. If you are expecting 50, your marks is 40. If you are expecting 40, your marks is 30. Understood now? So when you have given exam, after exam you are expecting 60, you will get 50. And if you are getting 50, okay. Now someone is getting 35, so actually their marks is 45. I know this fact. But from student point of view, this is not correct now. बोलना रे, but कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Nothing can happen. Understood? This is the rule. Understood? 10 marks deduction hota. So always write in exam, if you want 50, you should get what 60. Understood? Yes, sir. Now this also you have understood. This point, what I was saying, ongoing you understood? Yes, sir. Income received during, so this will not be capitalized. This kata laga. Yes or no? Income received during the temporary use of factory premises, the car park during the construction period. What do you do? It will be transferred to PA. It will not be capitalized. Cost of relocating employee to the work to a new factory. Relocation cost of an employee. Whether it will be capitalized? No, it will not be capitalized. Cost of opening ceremony inauguration expenses. Whether it will be capitalized? It will not be capitalized. Look. The factory was completed on 30th November, which is considered a substantial period of time as per Ind AS 23. Means of course some borrowing will be also given, and they have given it. The factory was completed on 30th November. Started when? On 1st May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 7 months. So 7 months is the construction period. So we are doing capitalization up to the date asset is ready for its intended use. So of course this becomes the date of ready for its intended use. Correct? And the production began on 1st Feb. What is 1st Feb? Means you will do capitalization up to 30th November or 1st Feb. 1st Feb is which date? Put to use. This is put to use now. This is not at all relevant. This is not at all relevant. So which date is relevant? 38th November. So 7 months. It means can you see you will do capitalization here for 7 months. 7 months. This is 7 months. 7 months. If they have given 2 lakh per month now, they will do capitalization for how many months? 7 months. Got this point? Correct? Understood? Can we move? Yes, sir. The overall useful life of the factory building was estimated at 40 years from date of completion. But on this 40 years, you will count from 30th November or 1st Feb. 30th November it is given also from the completion date. From always from a date when the asset is ready for its intended use. It means depreciation will commence from which date? 30th November. So December, January, February, March. How many months? How many months? For this year, 4 month depreciation or not? 4 month depreciation. Chalega? Yes, sir. However, it is estimated roof will need to be replaced 20 years after date of completion, and that the cost of replacing the roof at current price would be 30% total cost of building. Right now we have not done depreciation, but I hope as per AS10 you know about the component accounting for depreciation. For each component we calculate separate depreciation as per their own useful life. If you have forgotten, I will do explanation again. So here the roof life is what? 20 years. And the balance remainder part life is what? 40 years. It means the roof will be depreciated for how many years? 20 years. The balance of the building will be depreciated for how many years? 40 years. And they have given the out of the total cost of the building, 30% belong to what? Roof. The balance belong to building, other part, balance of building. Okay? At the end of 40-year period, Sun Limited is legally enforceable. Legally enforceable. Which obligation? Legal obligation. Correct. To demolish the factory and restore the site to its original condition. The directors estimated the cost of demolition in 40-year time based on the price prevailing at that time will be 20 million. So 20 million is what? Dismantling cost. It is a future expenditure. We want what? Present value. For that they will give discount factor and annual risk adjusted. You remember annual risk adjusted discount rate where we have done Ind AS 37. Due to risk and uncertainties, discount rate may be risk adjusted. Okay, we want risk adjusted. They have given risk adjusted only. Correct. The risk adjusted discount rate which is appropriate for this project is 8%. The present value of ₹1 payable in 40-year time at an annual discount rate of 8% is 4.6 cent. Oh my god, 4.6 cent. If you are not reading the question carefully, gone case. First, just try 8 marks. Such a big question. High level of concentration required or not? High level of concentration. Believe me, solution is very easy. Solution is a matter of 5 minutes. But normally in exam, we don't read question carefully. We are in so much hurry. Oh, in so much hurry, there is one small mistake, 0 marks. Acha, 4.6 cent. 1 cent is equal to cent, you know, cent is equal to 100. It means you need to find out, divide by 100. Divide by 100 na. Arey, we want a discounting factor in paise or rupees. Rupees na. This is not given rupees na. Huh? So I said divide. Oh, sorry, my mistake. So it is 4.6 into what 100? How much? Hey, why you will do multiply? I am also compare. It will be divide. 4.6 divided by 100, how much? 4.6 divided by 100, how much? 0.046. Correct. We'll divide now. Why will not divide? This is 4.6 cent. So rupees will be what? Rupees will be 0.046. Correct na? We'll divide by 100. Okay. चलेगा? So 4.6 divided by 100 is equal to 0.046. Correct. Can you say it means you require high level of concentration? What is given? If you are not reading the question carefully, you will multiply by what? 4.6. And when this question came, most of the students have done this mistake only. They know, we know each and every point, but in exam when we don't read the question carefully, we do this small mistake, and because that is in question paper become difficult. Correct. But can you say you can easily find out? So it is 20 million multiplied by 0.046. This amount will come. Then last para. The construction of the factory was partly financed by a loan of 17.5 million taken out on 1 April 2001. So loan has been taken on which date? 1st April 2001. But construction began on which date? On 1st May. Land was purchased on which date? 1st April. Correct. But now this loan has been taken for construction of land. The construction of factory was partly financed by loan of 17.5 million. Whether this loan has been taken for purchase of land or for construction of building. Construction of building. However, no bank will give loan for purchase of land. It is only for construction. So your capitalization should start, your commence from 1st April ki 1st May? 1st May. Detailed discussion will be done under Ind AS 23. Abhi right now I am not discussing about the commencement of capitalization. So as per Ind AS 23, it will commence when some conditions are satisfied. That condition will discuss where under Ind AS 23. But here, understood point, your construction started from which date? 1st May. So your borrowing cost will be capitalized from which date? From 1st May. And it was completed on which date? On 30th November. Means 7-month capitalization. 7-month capitalization. So you can easily calculate 17.5 million into what? What is the rate? 6% into what? 7 by 12. So this much will be capitalized. This much will be capitalized. Understood? Chalega. The loan with an annual rate of interest is 6% during the period 1st April 2001 to 31st August 2001, when the loan proceeds had been fully utilized to finance the construction. Sun Limited received investment income of 1 lakh on the temporary investment of the proceeds. Now what Ind AS 23 says, if you have forgotten AS 16, there are two types of borrowing. One is known as specific borrowing, one is known as general borrowing. So of course this is specific borrowing. Specific borrowing because this has been taken for the construction of building only. Now for a specific borrowing, if you have done, if suppose whatever loan amount you have loan amount you have received, if suppose that is not required right now, you will do some temporary investment, you will generate some interest income on that. So that interest income will be deducted from borrowing cost and net amount will be capitalized. Net amount will be capitalized. If you have forgotten, we'll do discussion where under Ind AS 23. If you retain, then okay. Okay. It means from this deduct what? 1 lakh, and this net amount will be capitalized. Net amount will be capitalized. Understood? Right. Compute the carrying amount of the factory in the balance sheet of Sun Limited at 31st March 2002. Carrying amount means after depreciation. So you need to charge depreciation for how many months? 4 months. Already I said 4 months. You should also explain your treatment of all the amount referred to in this part in your answer. Means if you have capitalized, why you have capitalized? If you have not capitalized, why you have not capitalized? Simple. For each and every explanation, write down directly attributable cost or not directly attributable cost. The reason is this only. You can see they have also written what? That direct cost like this. So in this, don't waste your time. Write down direct cost. It is not a direct cost. Now of course we can do it. Correct. Let us read the answer once. Now of course purchase of land, the amount they have converted in 1000. So we also will convert in 1000 only for simplicity to match the answer. It is 10 million means 100 lakhs. 100 lakhs in 1000 how much? That is given. How you will calculate? Means if it is 100 lakh, always write and think. 100 lakh. So delete this 3 0, it will become 10,000. It means from full amount will delete what? 3 0. Full amount delete 3 0. So it will be in 1000. So always write and think in exam. Right now though you have the answer, but in exam we don't have the answer now. So normally we do this type of mistake. 10,000 you have written 1,000. Lo, khatam. So 10,000 is correct. Then preparation and labeling, it is 3 lakh given. So 300. Then material they have given 60 lakh 80,000 na. 60 lakh 80,000. So 6080. 6080. Then employee construction cost, they have given 7 lakh per month. 7 lakh or how much? Sorry. It is how much? 2 lakh per month. So 2 lakh into 7 how much? 14 lakh. 14 lakh means it is 1400. Then they have given direct overhead cost. They have given 1 lakh per month. 1 lakh into 7. It becomes 7 lakh means 700. Then ongoing overhead cost will not be capitalized. Then income received from car park will not be capitalized. Then relocation cost will not be capitalized. Then ongoing ceremony cost will not be capitalized. Then finance cost. Let us calculate finance cost. Can you calculate finance cost? So it is 17.5 million into 6% into 7 by 12. How much it is coming? How much? Means convert in 1000, it will be 612.50. It will be 612.50. From this, we deduct what? That temporary income, interest income from temporary investment 1 lakh is deducted. So you can add on net amount in exam. You can add on net amount in exam. Correct? Means you can add on 612.5 minus 100. That is equal to what? 512.5. Correct? Yes. And then last, dismantling cost as a provision. The amount will come how much? After multiplying that discounting factor, 20 million into 0.046. What was that? 0.046. How much? It means it will come 920 in 1000. Correct. This becomes the total cost price of, but this is the total cost price of land and building. Land and building now. Out of this, land is not a depreciable asset. So out of this 10,000 belong to land, that is not depreciable. So only 9912.50 is depreciable. And out of these, 30% belong to what? Roof, and 70% belong to the remainder portion. So for 30%, your useful life is 20 years. For 70%, your useful life is 40 years. So you can see how they have calculated depreciation in 9912.50 into 30% divided by 20. But you need to calculate depreciation for how many months? 4 months. So 4 by 12 for this year. So 9912 into 70%, and the useful life is 40 years for the balance portion and 4-month depreciation. So this becomes total depreciation. So what will be carrying amount? Means 19,912.50. If you deduct what total depreciation, this becomes the carrying amount of land and building. Land and building. However, you can add on separate land, separate building. You can add on land is 10,000 and building is net of depreciation. You can also mention that. Understood? Whether calculation wise was easy or not. Solution was very easy. And normally what happened, what we do, when we revise now, we read the question and then we read the solution. Easy. When you are reading the solution now, you are not doing any mistake because you think, oh, it's super easy. So normally what happens, a CA final student will not do any questions by their own. They will read question, they will read solution, and they will think that they have understood. And this is the biggest mistake of a CA final student. Because a CA final student can understand any solution by their own, even though they don't know the concept. I mean, right now, if I would have not done Ind AS 16, this question, if you would have done by your own, you would have understood. Because you have some practical knowledge from what? Article C. You could have understood or not, and nothing in this. Am I right or not? But in exam, you don't have what? Solution. You have to do by your own. So I will say, when you read the question, then only frame your solution that time. What to do, what not to do, before reading the solution. Or I will say, write somewhere this is the solution. Then try to match. And whatever mistake you have done, try to identify that mistake and try to work on that mistake to overcome that mistake next time. This is the way of studying. Understood? Correct. So I have taken time in this question. However, this question I could have done in 5 minutes also. Chalega. Okay. So question 13 we have done. This question I have done. I'll do some more question, but after some point of time. This much you have understood? Any doubt? We'll take a break. After break, we'll do the balance part. is balance. Whatever you are doing for others. Now, everyone, can we start once again, everyone? Okay. So before break, we have completed point number 6. I hope this much you have understood. Now let us come to the next point, which is very important. PP acquired in exchange of non-monetary consideration. Means in exchange of any other asset. In exchange of any other asset. Correct. Means suppose if I say old car in exchange of new car. Means we purchase new car in exchange of old car. So there are two transactions here. One is the purchase of new car and second is sale of old car. So right now here we are understanding what is the cost price of new car. What will be the cost price of new car? Correct. So I will explain you with one example. One example is suppose the carrying amount of old car is given 2 lakh. Carrying amount of old car is given 2 lakh. And I have given 3 situations, case 1, case 2, case 3. Correct. First they have given fair value of old car is 3 lakh and fair value of new car is 3 lakh. Correct. Means old car fair value is how much? 3 lakh. And new car fair value is also what? 3 lakh. Understood? It means can I say exchange is possible? Because of fair value is current price of both old car and new car are same. So exchange is possible. I can purchase new car in exchange of old car. Understood? So of course can I say in this case no doubt the cost price of new car will be equal to what? Fair value. And the fair value is what? 3 lakh. Fair value is 3 lakh. So can I say in this way the cost price of new car will be equal to either fair value of old car given up or fair value of new car received, whichever is known to you. Whichever is known to you means whichever is determinable, or I can say whichever is clearly evident, from examination point of view, whichever is given in the question, Can I say in this way? Yes or no? Correct. I hope you have understood this point. So what Ind AS 16 says that, cost price of PP acquired will be equal to fair value of asset given up. Plus minus cash adjustment. Plus minus cash adjustment means what? Any cash paid will be added. Any cash received will be deducted. So quite possible if the fair value of old car may be different from the fair value of new car, then there will be some cash consideration also. In that case, we'll say fair value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Or can I say if the fair value of asset given up cannot be measured reliably, then we'll take fair value of asset received or acquired. So either you take fair value of asset given up means old car, or you take fair value of asset received means fair value of new car. Understood? Correct. Now it is quite possible sometimes that fair value cannot be measured for both old car and new car. In that case, Ind AS 16 says that then the cost price of new car will be equal to the carrying amount of old car. Carrying amount means book value of old car. Book value means what? After depreciation. So it is carrying amount, that is net book value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Understood? Correct? Have you understood? Means if I take case number 2, what is given? Fair value of old car how much? 3 lakh. Fair value of new car is how much? 6 lakh. So some cash adjustment required. So you only say cash will be paid or cash will be received. Cash will be paid. How much cash will be paid? 3 lakh cash will be paid. Now if you apply the formula, the first they have given fair value of asset given up plus cash paid. So fair value of asset given up is how much? 3 lakh. Plus cash paid how much? 3 lakh is equal to how much? 6 lakh. And what is the fair value new car? 6 lakh. So either you take fair value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment, or you take fair value of asset received. Both will be normally same only. In normal circumstances, Can I say both will be same? In normal circumstances, both will be always same. Understood this point? Correct. So in this case, also in this case, the cost price of new car will be 6 lakh. Yes or no? Now, third case, what I have given, fair value of old car is 6 lakh and fair value of new car is 3 lakh. Practically possible. It is quite possible old car is Mercedes-Benz and new car is Alto. Quite possible. Quite possible or not? Yes sir. So it is quite possible fair value of old car is 6 lakh and fair value of new car is what? 3 lakh. In this case, cash will be received. So let us say cash received is 3 lakh. So now what will be your formula? Ki cost price of new car will be equal to fair value of old car. How much? 6 lakh minus cash received how much? 3 lakh. That is equal to 3 lakh. Or you take fair value of new car. That is how much? 3 lakh. Both are same. So it means cost price of new car is what? 3 lakh. Understood? Have you understood? Correct. This much? Any doubt? Let me give you one more case. Fourth case. This much have you understood? If you have understood this much, I'll give you one more case. Fourth case. Correct. Now, suppose fair value of old car is 3 lakh and suppose this is 6 lakh and cash paid is 2,50,000. Understood? In this case, if you see, or better, I will say, once ignore cash adjustment. I will say if this is the question, if fair value of old car is 5 lakh and fair value of new car is suppose 6 lakh and there is no cash adjustment. There is no cash adjustment. First, my question is that practically possible transaction or not? Is practically possible transaction? If I am ready and you are ready, then okay. Contract does not require any law. Na? I want to sell, you want to buy, okay, possible or not? Practically possible transaction. Now in this case, cost price of new car will be 5 lakh or 6 lakh. In this case, doubt will come. It will be 5 lakh or 6 lakh. What do you think? Have you understood what I am saying? We are here to find out cost price of new car. So it will be equal to fair value of old car or fair value of new car. Fair value of new car. But it is not correct. It is fair value of old car. Why? Because cost price means what? Consideration paid or consideration received. Cost price means what? Whatever you have paid or whatever you have received. Paid. Here what you are paying means whatever you are giving. So what you are giving? Old car you are giving. Let's explain this way. Just try to understand. Suppose you purchase a new car. Suppose you purchase new car whose fair value is 6 lakh and you have paid cash 5 lakh. But what is your cost price? Suppose you purchase a new car whose fair value is what? 6 lakh. But you have paid cash 5 lakh. Practically possible or not? But in this case, cost price will be what? Whatever you have paid. The cost price means what? Paid. So what is the cost price? 5 lakh. So in this case, only the same thing now. What you have paid? Whatever you have given up. What you have given up? Old car whose fair value is what? 5 lakh. Therefore, Ind AS 16 says that first preference will be given to the fair value of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Correct? So, first preference will be given to this. If the fair value of asset given up cannot be measured reliably, If the fair value of asset given up cannot be measured reliably, then you measure what? Fair value of new means asset received. Correct? So this will be second preference. If both are not known, you don't have any other option, then you take carrying amount of asset given up. So this will be third preference. This will be third preference. Understood? So in this case, what will be the cost price of new car? 5 lakh. If I say one more situation, fifth situation, if I say fifth situation, if this is not known, this is not known, and cash paid is 1 lakh, batao, then in that case, what is the cost price of new car? Means fair value of old car and fair value of new car is not determinable. What possible fair value is not determinable? Means what is fair value? That too we need to understand. You are saying, sir, why it is not determinable? It can be determinable. Now, just try to understand. Suppose I want to exchange this old mobile, my mobile, with your mobile. Transaction is possible or not? Correct? Now, what is the fair value of this mobile? What is the fair value of this mobile? Acha, whether this mobile has a market price? Where this mobile has a market price? No, it has no market price because it is not in my, this is not in market. This is the my old mobile, it is in my hand. Market price means what? It is available for sale in the market. Then it will have market price. So this mobile has no market price. So if it has no market price, it means we will determine fair value. Now what is the fair value? So for that we need to apply Ind AS 113. Whenever we are saying fair value, we need to go to Ind AS 113. Now Ind AS 113 has given some technique. Ind AS 113 has given some technique to find out fair value. Can I say that fair valuation will be done by expert? It become an expensive method. Means if I want to exchange this mobile with your mobile, so for accounting purpose we want this fair value. For that we need to take the expert valuation. Can I say it will become unnecessary expensive method and the accounting will become difficult. For a small item we need to go to expert. Unnecessary accounting become expensive, and therefore it is quite possible that if you are not able to determine by your own, an option has been given that you can use carrying amount. You can use carrying amount. So what they are saying, if suppose you are exchanging old mobile with an old mobile only, so quite possible you are not able to estimate the fair value. If you are not able to estimate a fair value, then you can do accounting by taking carrying amount. Means they have given some relaxation in accounting. If suppose this particular point carrying amount is not given, then can you say fair valuation become mandatory? If the fair valuation become mandatory, it means we need to go to what? Expert to find out the fair value of this mobile, because we are not expert to find out the fair value now. Are you able to understand? If the amount is material, of course, can you say every entity will go for what? Fair valuation. Every entity will go for fair valuation. But it is small item. For this item, why to go for fair valuation? And unnecessary accounting will become complicated if they have not given the option of carrying amount. So what they want to say that if fair value cannot be clearly evident, means it cannot be measured reliably, then use third option, that is carrying amount of asset given up. Carrying amount of the asset given up. So quite possible in exam they have given fair value is not determinable. Then the cost price of new car will be the carrying amount of old car plus cash paid. So what is the carrying amount of old car? 2 lakh plus cash paid how much? 1 lakh. So what is the cost price here? 3 lakh. Understood? Have you understood this point? Bolo. I hope you have understood. Any doubt? It become 3 lakh. So I have given 5 situations. All situation you have understood? All situation you have understood? Now what will be journal entry? Journal entry, batao. I am doing journal entry for case number 2. Case number 2. Okay? The journal entry is given, you can only listen. Okay? What will be journal entry? Batao. New car will be debited by what amount? What is the cost price we calculated for case number 2? 6 lakh. Can you say old car will be de-recognized and cash has been paid now? Cash or bank has been paid. So how much payment done? 3 lakh. But the old car will be created by what amount? Old car will be created by what amount? Bolo. 3 lakh. Bolo yes or no? Everyone is wrong. Old car will be de-recognized at fair value or carrying amount? Carrying amount na, you are de-recognizing old car. Abhi we are doing Ind AS 16 for what? This 6 lakh. This is Ind AS 16. We are here to calculate a cost price of what? New car. This we have calculated. But old car we are de-recognizing. De-recognition will be done at carrying amount or fair value? Carrying amount. This is the basic point. And we are doing mistake there. Same mistake you will do in what? Exam hall. Are you able to follow me whatever I am saying? Whenever I am asking some question, you should be highly concentrated ki what I am asking. This is a basic thing na. So it will be de-recognized at 2 lakh and what is the difference? Difference 1 lakh, this become gain. But this is gain on purchase ki gain on sale? Gain on sale of which car? And that will be transferred to PL. You can also write down gain on exchange. Gain on exchange. Understood? Case number 2 you understood? Case number 3. What will be journal entry? Batao. New car how much? Account debit how much? Bolo. 3 lakh. How much cash received? How much cash received? 3 lakh. To old car how much? To old car how much? 2 lakh. Gain how much? Gain how much? 4 lakh. This also you have understood. Case number 5. Case number 5. I am not asking 4, 5. When the fair value was not given. Fair value was not given. Batao. New car will be debited by what amount? New car. I have said this is case number 5 na. So new car will be 3 lakh na. You have not written this case number 5. You have written or not written? So what is the cost price of new car? 3 lakh. Cost price of new car is 3 lakh. Correct. So new car will be debited by 3 lakh. Yes or no? To cash paid how much? How much? 1 lakh. And old car carrying amount how much? 2 lakh. It means, can I say, whenever we measure new car at carrying amount of old car, there will be no gain or loss. Means in this case, we don't recognize any gain or loss. No gain or loss will be recognized right now. And this will be postponed and that gain or loss will be recognized on sale of new car. On sale of new car. So what Ind AS 16 says that if you are not able to find out the fair value, if you are not able to find out a fair value of the asset given or asset received, then the cost price of new car will be equal to carrying amount and don't recognize gain or loss right now. That will be deferred and will be recognized on sale of new car. This is the difference. Difference you understood? Have you understood this point? Yes, sir. Correct? Understood. Now what they have given? Case number 1, if the exchange transaction does not lack commercial substance, then this is the rule. Correct. Case number 2, if the exchange transaction lacks commercial substance. Now sir, what do you mean by commercial substance? Just try to understand, whenever we are doing any transaction, we are doing for some benefit or not. Means if you are doing some transaction without benefit, so it means it lacks what? Commercial substance. First thinking is it is rare situation that we are doing transaction without any benefit, but practically possible sometime. Are you getting? Sometimes we are supposed to do some transaction even though it does not have any commercial benefit. Are you getting? So what Ind AS 16 says that any transaction which does not have commercial substance, it means after that transaction the cash flow will not change. Means the cash flow of your entity will not change. So if the cash flow of your entity is not changing due to that transaction, it means it does not have any commercial substance. Means can you say whenever we are doing any transaction, either my cash flow will increase or decrease? Cash flow means income na, either my income will decrease, so it means it has some commercial substance. But by doing the transaction, the cash flow remains same. So it means it lacks what? Commercial substance. It lacks commercial substance. In that case, what Ind AS 16 says that cost price of new means cost price of PP acquired will be equal to carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Means will not do fair value accounting. Will not do fair value accounting. So in this case, what will do? Cost price of PP acquired will be equal to carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Understood? Understood? One second, you said understood. No, why? Why will do this? One second, change yourself. What is CA enter? Now you should ask me, so why? अरे बोलना नहीं. I have not given any example. Just try to understand. If this is the only thing, so only for reading you came here. This too you can read here also by your own also. Carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Means teaching becomes so easy now. Means anyone can teach, and nowadays it's happening. Anyone is coming and teaching. Because students don't require why. Anyone is coming. Any student pass, they started teaching. Nowadays it's happening this only. No practical knowledge, nothing. This तो anyone can teach. बोलना yes or no? This is सब बच्चों. If exchange transaction lacks commercial substance, Ind AS 16 says carrying amount of asset given up plus cash adjustment. One example I will take over. This to you can also teach once you become CA. Yes or no? And therefore teaching become very easy. Nowadays students don't require why. Student says, sir, what to do, batao, we'll pass and we'll understand by our own once we become CA. Am I right or not? So if you are not asking, I will not say. Let us make our teaching also easy. Let us make our teaching easy. If you are not asking, why I will explain. Now we'll make a rule. If you'll ask, then I will explain. Otherwise, I will not explain. Okay, sir? Once you said understood, I should move now. I ask you one thing, have you understood? Everyone said understood. What you have understood? Nothing you have understood. Nothing you have understood. Means one case study will come, you will not be able to understand whether transaction lacks commercial substance or transaction does not lack commercial substance. In that case, in exam hall, you will apply your what? Knowledge now. Correct. Let me give one practical example. Last time I am giving you this example. Next time you will say understood, I will move. Yes, na? Chalega? Okay, because if you are not changing, I will change myself. Better someone need to change now. Either you change or I will change. Okay. Let me give you one practical example. What actually happened? Very practical example. Suppose this is a land and there are many structures, building is there. Now what happened? Government has decided to construct metro over this land, over this road. ठीक है ना? But sometime what happened ना? Metro will be diverted. Understood what happened? Metro will be diverted. and there may be some building here also. So this building required demolition, yes or no? So this area will be compulsory acquired by government. I think you have also done this compulsory acquisition of property by the government under Income Tax Act. But I am not teaching you Income Tax Act. I am teaching you accounting. Okay. Now compulsory acquired, the government has two ways of compensating. Either they will compensate in cash or they will compensate by way of giving land to this particular entity. Correct? Are you able to understand? So this was a land only building. I am not saying, because then I need to give some other example. This land was compulsory acquired. Now this land was 2000 square meter belonging to ABC Limited. ABC Limited. Okay. And this land they have purchased in 1981. The cost price of that land that time was 1 lakh. But now the fair value of land is 1 crore. Now the fair value of land is 1 crore. 1981, 1 crore also I have said less. Okay? 1 crore. Understood? Now this entity want similar land near to this particular land because they want to do business in this area only. They don't want to shift to other area, and government agreed. Government agreed. So government will compensate with similar land worth rupees 1 crore near to this land, near to this surrounding. Suppose they have given similar land here. The fair value is what? 1 crore only. Fair value is 1 crore. Understood? Now you only say if this is exchange of old land with new land or not. Means they purchase a new land in exchange of old land. Same transaction happened. Now you only think if they will shift their business from this location to this location, whether their customer will change, whether it will affect their business. It is near, surrounding, near. So if they will change their business from this location, from this area to this area, which is near to this, whether their cash flow will be affected? No. It is as simple as, if I will give this example, suppose I want to shift my building right now from this building to a similar building in this area only. Will you come or not? You will come, or you will cancel the contract? You will come or not? If I shift from this area to some other area, other city, you have objection. Yes or no? It is quite possible I am not getting any student there, or I am getting a lot of student there. So that transaction lacks, that transaction will have commercial substance. But if I shift from this building to another building in this area, so my number of students will remain same or not? So here, can I say this transaction, this exchange transaction lacks commercial substance or not? Yes, correct. Now just try to understand. It means a similar land has been exchanged without any commercial benefit. Now suppose if you apply the accounting based on fair value, then what will happen? Now in this case, what is the fair value of old car? Fair value of old land? 1 crore. What is the fair value of new land? 1 crore. What is the carrying amount of old land? 1 lakh. Means if you pass the journal entry, the cost price, suppose you apply the fair value accounting, and the cost price of new land will be equal to the fair value of old land or fair value of new land, whichever is clearly evident. If you apply this rule, then can you say your journal entry what? New land, account debit how much? 1 crore, and the carrying amount of old land will be 1 lakh. and you are recognizing a gain without any commercial benefit. Without any commercial benefit, it means you are using the similar land and you are transferring that gain to PL account. Can you see it is one type of revaluation gain? Actually, this is nothing but you are revaluing, and revaluation gain is never transferred to what? PL. Yes or no? Because it is unrealized. Means you exchange one similar land with your own land without commercial benefit, and you want to recognize a gain. Can you say it is 100% wrong accounting? And therefore, Ind AS 16 says, in this case, the cost price of new land will be equal to carrying amount of old land. That will be equal to what? 1 lakh. And don't recognize any gain or loss, because this gain or loss are unrealized. If unrealized, you can't transfer this gain and loss to PL account. 100% correct or not? 100% correct accounting or not? Correct accounting. Understood? And therefore, they are saying this particular point, in this case, the cost price of PP acquired will be equal to carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. An exchange transaction has commercial substance if the configuration, risk, timing, and the amount of cash flow of the asset received differ from the configuration of the cash flow of the asset transferred. So it means the exchange transaction has commercial substance. But if the configuration of cash flow remains same after the exchange transaction, it means exchange transaction lacks commercial substance. In that case, don't do fair value accounting. In that case, cost price of new asset acquired will be equal to carrying amount of asset given up plus minus cash adjustment. Understood? Have you understood? Now I think you have understood. Now you should say, yes sir, understood. The difference between first when you said understood, now you said understood, lot of difference is there. And you are here for this type of examples. Now I have given a practical example to you. This is a practical scenario. Correct. Suppose in this case, the government says that I will compensate this land with a land worth rupees 1 crore. Worth rupees 1 crore only. But it is far away, 20 kilometers. But our business will be affected or not? 100% business will be affected. If this is a transaction, so this transaction has what? Commercial substance. In this case, the fair value accounting will be covered. Understood? Have you understood? Similar question has been given. Let us read that question. One question is there. Similar question. That question has been asked in exam also. Now you will be able to understand the meaning of that type of question. Question number 27. Question number 27. Yes. Entity X has a warehouse which is closer to the factory of entity A and vice versa. Entity A X has a warehouse which is closer to factory of entity Y and vice versa. The factories are located in same vicinity, same surrounding. Entity X and entity Y agree to exchange their warehouses. The carrying value of warehouses of entity X 1 lakh and the fair value is 1,25,000. It exchanges warehouse with that of entity Y, the fair value of which is 1,20,000. It also received cash amounting to rupees 5,000. How should entity X account for the exchange of warehouse? Batao, whether it has commercial substance, it lacks commercial substance. In a similar warehouse in same locality, it is an indication that this transaction lacks commercial substance. Therefore, in this case, cost price of new warehouse will be the carrying amount of asset given up, that is 1 lakh na? 1 lakh minus cash received. How much cash received? 5,000. Therefore, the cost price will be equal to 95,000. You can see what is the answer given? 95,000. Understood? Have understood? Now this type of question can come from multiple choice question. Means when there was no MCQs, similar type of question they used to ask for 5 marks, 4 marks. But now I will say this type of question will not be asked for 5 marks, it will be asked for 2 marks. Multiple choice question. Understood? With MCQs, number of questions will increase. Understood? I think today this much only you have understood. Okay, whatever we have done. Now whatever questions, whatever I have not done, can you do? Can you try by your own? Means up to this we have done now. So I have done question 27, one question left 22. That you do by your own. If any doubt, we'll discuss. Correct now. So whatever question I have not done, that is your prime duty to do it by your own. So tomorrow we'll discuss any doubt. So if you have not done any question of Ind AS 37 and Ind AS 10, I'll leave it right now. Now be punctual. From today, be punctual. Ind AS 37, Ind AS 10, do on any holiday. From today, be punctual. Are bolna yes or no? We need to find out one cut-off date. So today, let us make it cut off. So today, you will do this all questions by your own. Chalega. We'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your remaining day. Bye bye.